Alright, this is a bit late in coming, but here is my Ranger build. I'm going to show you the gear I am using to run Tower of the Mad Mage. I do swap a few pieces out for any lower content just because, well, I'm missing out on some power if I use my ToMM gear. The first part I'm going to show you is that yes, I am indeed a melee hunter or melee ranger. I use Marauder's Rush, Hindering Strike, and Boar Charge. Rangers, or ninjas as I effectively like to call them, are an amazingly mobile class right now. I use Clear the Ground and Storm Strike as my at-wills, but I will tell you the truth, I only use Storm Strike. Clear the Ground, I know people say it's really great for AoE, yeah. But the last strike of Storm Strike hits everything around for half the magnitude. And if it's magnitude 70, that's magnitude 35 to everything, whereas this is magnitude 20. Let me open up my character profile and show you what I'm working with. I have a lot of gear. I still heavily focus on percentage-based damage because it is going to give you the biggest bump. I use the Wyvern set because of ToMM. It's the hit points and the defensive attributes that you need to reach before you can get in there. This is one of the new rings from ToMM. I am using a Tenebrous enchantment. I haven't looked at the numbers myself, but I will tell you the guys and girls who out DPS me anywhere, they all run one. So recently I made a change and I took out one Radiant to put in one Tenebrous. But as you can see, everything is running percentage-based damages. You will think it's funny. I am using the Drift Globe, but I'm using it for that 6,000 hit points and for that 3,000 defense. Because ToMM does have a higher stats. You know, you want another 12,000 on top of whatever you were running before. My hit points are actually kind of low for ToMM, but I survive pretty easily. You can see all my base stats right there. They're all good to go. As I said, ToMM ready. So you see 130k combat advantage, 80k for everything else. You know, accuracy is really high. I could lose some. Crit strike, defense, yes, even as a DPSer, you want that defense cap. It's going to keep you alive. And my power is still rather high. I'm at 190k right now. Here's my boons. I'm not going to go over each of them, but you will notice I always pick power. I always pick hit points. Yes, you really need the hit points. Crit severity, really excellent stat to have as DPS once you get higher end. Recovery speed, movement speed, all about movement speed all the time. And currently I am using Focus Retaliation because of all the splash damage that comes out when you're inside of ToMM. I just like the mirroring the damage back, honestly. It makes a big difference to me. Companions, all rank 15 bondings. Bondings are the best investment you can make in your character. Really. Using one old piece, and I've got two of the new pieces for accuracy and combat advantage. Some of these I'm going to change out soon because I have a lot of the newer pieces that have been dropping from Zoc lately. Here's my companions. Keep in mind, I am running for a ToMM setup. So yes, I'm using hit points as my last one. In my mounts, I use tensors. I've got 10k power. For my powers, I've already told you guys what I run. I do have Snipe slotted as a daily, but I never use it. I only use Call of the Storm. And the great thing is that makes my tit for tat ring perfect. Because I don't care if Call of the Storm only does 150 magnitude when I use it. It's the bonus it does to my other attacks that I really like. So there is a general rundown. I have Wyvern coated knives for my primary artifact, and that is because, well, you got to have as much buff and debuff as you can when you're in ToMM. Yep, that's pretty much it. Offense slots are all Radiants. Defense slots, I lean towards Brutals most of the time. Gives me some defense and hit points at the same time, so it's very beneficial. I am still running Dark enchantments in my utility slots. I put all of my tacticals into my Paladin, but I will slowly be filtering a few Darks into my Ranger to help with the healing. I'm still using Triple Gladiator's Guile because, well, I just like to move fast. And the faster I can move without needing to slide means the more stamina I have and the more often I get this 3% for my Ebony Stained Shirt. I also run, of course, Cavalry's Warning, 1,000 to every rating for 10 seconds every minute, and Artificer's Persuasion, 2-second cooldown, which is great, which is really great, because with the Weaver Coated Knives, if you look at the time, it says cooldown reduced by 75% if no targets are hit. So even if you need to use it as a quick cooldown lever, every 15 seconds you can pop it. I am using Seeker's Vengeance. We are behind the foe most of the time, and I use Blade Storm. I used to use Aspect of the Pack, but everyone's combat advantage is so high now we don't really need it. And let me just go over my feats real quick. You can pause the video anytime you want to actually read them. You'll notice I am heavily melee. I do not go into ranged ever. It's just too weak of a path. And yes, I am awarded. Alright, I think that is it for... Oh, I forgot to show the guild boons. I think that is it. I'm actually using defense right now instead of hit points just to reach that cap. Power, and inside of Tome, you got to turn on Revive Sickness. Outside, I always turn my mount speed back on. And that is it for the Ranger, Melee. Thank you very much, and I hope that you found this insightful.